Hello, thanks for coming to my channel. We're going to go over the Housewives of Atlanta, Season 9, Episode 18, Baby Nups and Breakups. First, we got filming, starting with Noelle, doing her modeling thing and practicing her walk. Then Sheree comes in with Cairo. Cairo comes in, and she immediately starts on how much press is going to be coming. How many models are there going to be for the showcase? Will there be compensation? I mean, honey, Cairo can't even be successful. He can't even get a successful walk down the runway, nor make eye contact with the fake audience. And then you want him to be first and foremost, getting paid, getting overwhelmed with press, and he has no personality to even think about speaking in front of anybody because he can't even look at them when he's just walking down a fictitious runway. Now, are you kidding me, Sheree? You want the red carpet just thrown out for your son because he looks good and you think he should be one of the A-list models out there for Atlanta and just stepped on the scene. Are you kidding me? Whew, Cairo, Cairo. Cairo, please put Cynthia as your agent. I mean, your personal work through for all modeling gigs. Drop your mama like a bad toothache. Okay? A bad toothache. Drop her, please. Or stay in school. That's probably best. Stay in school. Get your academics on. Here we go to Cynthia. Cynthia's assistant tells Sheree everyone who's modeling will not be getting a bag. I'm like, Cynthia, fire your assistant because he shouldn't have even said that on live TV. Because who knows what promises you made to the other aspiring models and what they were supposed to be, getting while doing this free modeling gig if it was indeed free. I like fire your assistant quick, fast, in a hurry. Okay? Your assistant should have kept his mouth shut. I mean, that's the least you could have given them. If they're not getting paid $25 per 12 people for walking in the fashion show, it would have been much cheaper for you just paying the 12 models $25 each that they receive and then give them one of your expensive bags, my lady. I mean, if you do 12 models times $25, you'll easily run up to $300. That's one cost of your bag versus giving each one of them a bag. Okay? Or not giving them anything at all. That's just plain tacky as hell. So it is what it is. We go to Sheree. Sheree is talking to Cairo. No, I'm sorry. Well, she is kind of saying the same thing, and Cynthia's watching it all transpires about trading arms with Noelle so y'all can help each other with practicing on y'all walking techniques for the fashion show. So, you kidding me, Sheree? You can't even bring him here on time. And you sitting up there talking about switch out numbers. Cairo ain't got no car to go nowhere. Nowhere gonna have to come pick him up or find a way for him to get to her so they can practice. Really? Then we have Cynthia said we need to exchange the phone numbers, but that's all we need to be doing. We don't need to be making no dates or nothing like that. I'm like, Cynthia, fall back, okay? Then we have Portia's calling Phaedra about a baby nut. Phaedra said, Portia, you need a baby nut like you need a hole in your head. I said, tell her right. Tell her right. And that's a friend trying to tell a friend something. You do not need to reprocreate at this time. No, ma'am. No, Lord. No, God. No. Oh. Okay, then we go to Kenya. Kenya's cousin, Shay comes over to see her. And Kenya and Shay are talking about her Hawaii trip and how some of the women treated her so wrong. I'm like, come on down. Put yourself in there too. Anyway, Shay said, not the church ladies tripping again on you. Really, Kenya? Kenya said, yeah, that's why they call her fake Phaedra, Faye. So Shay asked about Matt. Kenya tells her They're not seeing each other anymore, but she wants to be friends at least with him. I'm like, come on now, girl. Come on, you don't want to be friends with Matt. You want to have fuck partners with Matt. You want to be his fuck partner. You don't want to be his friend. You want to be his taping buddy so you can get paid and have a storyline. That's pretty much where that is going, Sheree. Be honest. At least, if not with yourself, at least to your cousin, who you say is more like your sister than your first cousin. Okay? So, it is what it is. But she said she would love to have a relationship such as Peter and Cynthia and how they getting so along real well with their divorce and still being able to travel. Well, trying to find out they're not divorced yet. Crazy. Kenya. And you and Matt are not married. So how can you put your relationship and comparing the two when they're totally opposite? Okay. Then we go to Candy. Candy has come over to see her mom's house, or really just to visit her over her mom's house and do some taste testing of the food that should be showcased at the restaurant they're trying to open. And of course, Aunt Bertha over there, Aunt Nora. Aunt Nora is wearing some of her either free or half price Cynthia Bailey's sunglasses or glasses. Who knows what they are? She might be using them for prescription sunglasses. Anyway, then Todd finally shows up and Aunt Bertha tears into him like, okay, where's my money? What we getting paid for this little thing? With this taste test. And I need to get broke off. I ain't spending my money just to be, spending it. And then Todd goes on to tell her that, hey, it takes 2 years before things jump off the ground. She looking at Todd like, you can take your 2 years and show them with your ass. You better be breaking me something off. It's what you need to be doing. So we never really get the truth of that. We probably never will. Because Candy's going to be paying her aunts and her mother. You can best believe that one. Then we have Phaedra shows up at Cynthia's house. And she's there to find out what happened to her in Kenya and Maui. Then Cynthia shows Phaedra her couch from Kenya, that she bought off Kenya rather. And Phaedra tried to say something slick, but she let it go past her. But she toots up her nose like that's even better. Then Cynthia brings up Portia, bringing up that Phaedra was finally divorced from what Portia says. But they don't believe nothing Portia says. So it need to be cleared up. They need to have some edification on the whole purposes of whether Phaedra is truly divorced or almost divorced or what. Because they don't trust anything that comes out of Portia's mouth. Portia's mouth these days, especially when we just had that incident with her and Candy blowing up and a lot of things were said that weren't necessarily true. It was just kickbacks on how she wanted to get back at Candy, and that was the only way she knew she could get back with her, is tell lies and sensationalize the stories or embellish them a little bit more to keep us in tuned with her storyline, I should say. Then we go to, I'm thinking just Phaedra and Cynthia needed somebody to tape with, and nobody else was available or wanted to, so they had to tape with each other to get their money still flowing. You know what I'm saying? And we have Phaedra is telling Cynthia she just felt offended about the celebrating of divorce message that Kenya was presenting to everybody. And Cynthia asked Phaedra to come to her fashion show for the cargo line, and Phaedra's, she didn't really say she was coming or going, but she was asked. But Cynthia said she really didn't take it that way. She just saw it from a good place that Kenya didn't want nobody to be upset that they had to go through the divorce proceedings and that they had a silver lining to come out of it, that they get to live life over again with a new prospect of a husband if that's what they chose to do. Of course, Cynthia just said she don't want another husband. I'm like, yeah, because you can't seem to get rid of the one you got. But anyway, that's neither here nor there anymore. But she was saying she didn't really see Kenya trying to make something be something than what it really was just trying to make the ladies feel a little bit better about their situation and what they were probably already feeling. So, move on from there. Go to commercial, come back. We have Portia invites Todd over so they can discuss having a baby and developing a baby prenup for the baby. Portia brings out the baby prenup out for Todd to read, and I think he said it was like 39 points, and he ain't agree with none of them. I'm like, now this is the first time that I see Starr really standing his ground, and it really turning out to be worth listening to. Starr tells, or he asked Portia, that they're not having sex unless he signed his baby prenup. Todd tells Portia what he is reading is it like extortion, and he tells her he's not signing that, and he takes his bags and bounces. And Portia looks so stupid. I'm like, wish she should. Stupid is as stupid does. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't finna play no parts of that. She wasn't finna have it all be one sided, where he pretty much is just donating the sperm and everything else. It's like, okay, I ain't really agree to this, but yeah, this is my baby because I donated the sperm. But she gets to put my baby on social media. She gets to take the baby out the country if she chooses. So I have no regards into the baby's well-being, for as their education, what doctor they're gonna go to, what teacher is gonna teach them, whether they're gonna be homeschooled, whether they're gonna go to public school, whether they're gonna go to the richest academy out there for celebrities. Just nothing. He had nothing. You're like, fuck that, I ain't gonna do that. No. No, ma'am, no, sir, no, Lord. Okay. So we move on from that situation. I gave him 2 thumbs up for that one. He dodged that bullet. Now he need to dodge Portia altogether because she has no sense. Okay. Then we have Noelle comes out first doing the fashion show, and she's doing her darn thing. Well, I'm sorry. She calling herself doing her darn thing when she's trying to park that Jeep. But she must have flunked in parallel parking, or maybe she just having her learner's permit. I don't know what's going on with Noelle, but the assistant of Cynthia's was sure taking punk shots at her. But anyway, Noelle is the first one to arrive, besides her mother and his assistant being there first. Then Noelle says she hadn't seen Cairo when Cynthia's going around looking for him and the rest of her models. And she goes on to call Sheree, try to figure out where he is. And of course, she lies and says that he'd been left, this, that, and the third. And when he finally get there, Cairo says that he was waiting on his mom. And of course, that's pretty much how it was. And it's like she didn't really have to get dialed up because she didn't look like she had did too much or anything. And Sheree's being, very peculiar. She's asking where the air is. She's fanning herself and then assisting her have like little words trying to get each other together, but they come up both empty in my book. Sheree's talking about, is there sewage up above this thing? And I'm like, Sheree, we didn't say it was going to be like New York Fashion Show week or this, that, and the third, where you were going to go in an actual building. She was just trying to do something extra retro, something that hasn't been done before. But the pictures would be beautiful, and all of the architect around it would be nicely done. I mean, that's what she was going with it. Well, you were trying to be too upscale and wasn't even dressed the upscale part. I mean, come on. Fire her, Taro. Put Cynthia as your stand-in agent at this time because your mama's not going to get you no jobs. Just stay in your education. Stay in the education field. Get yourself educated and move to another state or country away from your mom because she's just too much. She's too much. Woo! Anyway, we have Phaedra and Portia. They don't show up for the event, but why would they? But Candy shows up. Bob Whitfield, he shows up. He don't sit nowhere near Sheree. Sheree and her crew show up. Her entourage. Kenya shows up. And after the fashion show, Kenya and Candy tells Cynthia, she, heated out the park. The venue was nice. It was retro. It was edgy. And then trying to sell that cargo luggage gave her the benefit of the background to show you could take her cargo anywhere and still look good. At least that's where I got it. Like, you ought to give me a free bag for giving you free press on my show. Okay? But anyway, the luggage looked good. Noelle was a first time model actress. I could see her doing some modeling. Not on a fancy scale like her mother, but I definitely can see her doing her little thing. They're making some extra change. But yeah, Cairo seemed to be a little scared here and there, but I think with enough practice, he need to get his walk going back out where people seeing him walk from away from them. He need to get that on point. He need a little swag about himself. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, a little swag in his walk. But we leave that whole situation. We go to Phaedra. Phaedra meets with a friend in the employment law attorney's office for Mr. Winston, who is Candy's former employee from the candy coated factory. I don't know where she get that from because it's like KKK. I'm thinking about the white supremacists and this the initials of candy coated knights. I'm like, is that knife with the N or with the K? I don't know. But anyway, moving on. That's the sidebar. Well, Phaedra doesn't. I like. Do Phaedra escort all her potential clients to other potential lawyers that can settle their cases, or do she just write their name and number down, and say go let have? But she want camera time, so she's escorting Mr. Johnny Wilson to this attorney at law. He had his name on the marquee, and I've seen it before in the newspaper, just Googling it. So I don't know which one he happens to be. They said it, but I wasn't paying attention. I wouldn't, I ain't gonna lie. But he goes on to meet Mr. Johnny Winston, and he goes on to give him a little brief synopsis of what he feels he's entitled to and why he feels he's entitled to it from Candy, as well as her husband. I guess he's suing both of them, but I guess the bigger for the bang would be Candy. Her Todd ain't got none. And then Phaedra up there taking notes through the whole proceeding. I'm like, why are you here, Phaedra? Why? Why are you here? You saying you don't want to be involved, you don't want to have anything to do with this lawsuit and Candy and Todd and whatever three-ring circus they got going on, but you sitting up there in the midst of it. I'm like, really? Really? Oh, come on, Phaedra. When is Apollo getting out of jail? Because your storyline is very weak since he went under. Okay, then we have Johnny Winston also goes on to tell the employee lawyer that Candy stole his idea for a mother's love stage play. I'm like, damn, Candy, you just going around stealing this. You're just tripping this young brother up from left to right. Like, my goodness, I thought that was your whole thing. But Johnny said it was his. I said, oh my goodness, that's why they had to do a cease and desist. And the shit just fell apart. Other than Todd not doing his job or whatnot. But it is what it is. Then we go to the last and final scene. We have Matt comes to see Kenya at this puppy clothing store, which I'm sure Kenya invited him to. Because Matt ain't just show up anywhere, unless you better do some work on Peter. But anyway, Matt wants to talk to her about her faults, and Kenya leaves out the little shop. And I was sitting there and thinking to myself, now, ain't that quiet from Married to Medicine? It's a sidebar, y'all. Did she have a puppy clothing line and accessories? Like, why she didn't hook up with Quad? And they try to do the darn thing on TV. Get that coin together, but I don't know what happened. She goes into this lady's shop that looks like, I don't know where it's at. It looked like it was in a rough part of some kind of neighborhood, but it looked like it was underground or something. I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell where we were going with this shop. But anyway, they go out into like the hallway where it seems kind of abandoned and this and that, and they go to fussing about what part Kenya played in to demasculating, Matt and treating him all any kind of way. And then Matt is expressing to her, but yeah, you want to have sex with me in my jail. What that got to do with anything? If the girl was horny, she wanted you to break her off a little piece and you were willing, okay, it happened. But we're talking about her not giving you your $10,000 that you needed for this reunion show and anything else she wanted to give you that was a monetary value. That's what we're talking about, Matt. Forget the relationship. You were just a storyline. And it seems like you weren't that much of a storyline, even though you were making hits, but you were just putting yourself up, lined up for going to jail for a very long time. Especially if Kenya just saw fit to put your behind there. Because you're going around here breaking her furniture, breaking in her car, you're just doing too much that would definitely land your behind up and around them jail. You'll be sharing a cell with Apollo. But of course, Apollo went to jail for embezzlement. He did a white collar crime. You're doing some serious ninja time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, it's not a good look for you. It's not a very good look for you. You really need to leave Kenya alone. Or she gonna have you up in the penitentiary before it's over with. Okay? But that was a mess of a storyline, plot, setting, episode. This has been a rough, dry season. I don't know what we can do or what they can do other than bringing Nene back to set a tone of balance of some sorts. Because I don't understand. They can't even read people properly on this season. Hell, the last season either. I need some professionals to come back on up in here because Kenya's not doing it for me. Candy really needs to be gone and do other adventures. She done made her coin twice over, 4 or 5 times over. She need to do something else, get his platform up to somebody else that's hungry and needs exposure. And just recast the rest of the people because they all so crazy. Phaedra don't need to come back until Apollo's out of jail. Then it might make a little bit more sense of her storyline. Because right now she don't have one. So, yeah, that was my take of the baby snug or the baby Nups and Breakups. Because Portia thought, now he getting a little bit more sense about himself and handling himself some Portia. Because at first I just thought he was a do guy. But he's speaking up for himself. No, he know not to get in certain things and put his name to certain things because it's a legal and binding contract. So I'm glad he got schooled way before he met Portia. Okay? He might be young, but he ain't stupid. He might be horny, but he ain't crazy. Okay? But anyway, that was my recap of The Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 9, Episode 18, Baby Nups and Breakups. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Take care. Bye-bye.